Simon Kemboi of Kenya from lane 1 was third in the Kenyan trials. Set his personal best time of 44.94 in the semi-finals. He was a semi-finalist in the Olympics. Here's lane 2. Greg Horton of Jamaica also ran his best time ever in the semi-finals to make it here. 44.78. So 2 of the outsiders in 1 and 2. Here's the favourite, Michael Johnson, unbeaten at 400 since 1989 in the indoor season. It's a long, unbeaten run. Ran the fastest time ever in America to win the championships. He's the world champion at 200. In lane 4, Samson Kitur, third in the Olympic Games last year, was the fastest of the semi-finalists. Edged Johnson out. Johnson easing off a bit. The only non-American to beat Watts last year. In lane, well, they've gone up a lane here. That's Sunday Bada of Nigeria. They've missed Quincy Watts out. He was at his fastest in the semi-final. Here's Butch Reynolds in lane 7. World record holder, suspended for drugs between 1990 and 1992. Second at the Olympics in 88, third in the World Championships in 87. Fastest man ever at 43.29. Will he lose that tonight? Will Johnson or Watts take it from him? Maybe Butch could pull something out here. So there he is, Butch Reynolds. Was awarded damages against the International Athletic Federation of about $26 million. He hasn't collected that just yet. It's a lot of dough. He must feel proud to be here. Kennedy Ochieng in lane 8. Second in the Kenyan trials. Has won the Kenyan championships and also the British championships this year. He's an outsider. And there's Quincy Watts, Olympic champion. He won by a record margin. Well, since 1924 anyway. We've got to go back a bit. 43.50 he ran, and he ran the fastest ever split in the 400 metres relay when they broke the world record of 43.1. I just don't know if he's in quite that shape.
This is the big one. Michael Johnson versus Quincy Watts. Quincy Watts, the Olympic champion.
I think Reynolds is a bit nervous. He forgot to take his T-shirt off.
He's going to be finding this is going to be the race of his life. I don't believe he can finish in a medal.
Well, Johnson had this tremendous disappointment in Barcelona last year. Went there as one of the biggest stars in track and field and was run out in the semi-finals of the 200. He's moved up to 4. This man took it all in Barcelona. Individual title, Olympic record, and also world record in the 4x4. There's a strong feeling in the American camp that Watts is the man for the big occasion.
Well, the feeling is that Johnson won't take the 4 rounds. We've yet to see. If he does, he will be supreme.
So they're almost set. There is the man in question. Will he go for a world record? Will he race? The others have to run. He often races. There's Reynolds, 3 Americans, 3 Kenyans. They're set. Tactics important here. Away. Johnson's got the perfect draw. So from the inside, Kemboi, Horton, Johnson's gone out pretty hard. Kitur going out hard is Watts. Barter's gone out very hard in 6. So's Reynolds. They've gone past Ochieng. Johnson's sitting on them in the back straight. Reynolds joined by Barter, who's been the fastest in the first 150. Watts has held back a little. So is Johnson. Watch the bend. Kitur still there. Reynolds tackled by Barter. Reynolds now responds. Johnson's now exploded on the bend. Johnson's put himself in a winning position. Reynolds with him. Watts way out of it. Johnson in front. Reynolds can't get to him. Johnson is streaking away. Kitur coming home. Watts for the clock. Is the world record in danger? He just misses it. Reynolds second, third. Kitur. Watts completely out of it. It's his fastest time ever. 43.66. Only Reynolds and Watts have run faster. It was one of the great runs. And what he did between 200 and 100 was extraordinary. There are the Kenyans. Kitur got a minor medal. Reynolds ran a great race. Watts was the disappointment.
Watts was a huge disappointment, but here is the new champion. If there ever could be such a thing as tactics in a 400-metre race, which seems most unlikely, he did it. He took it easy for the first 200, then set the field alight on the bend and powered the straight. He's missed the world record, but he's now the new champion. Watts, a huge disappointment, a great run from Butch Reynolds. He gave it his all, but wasn't quite good enough on the night.
And in the long history of the sport, no man has won a 200 and 400 title at this level. No one's been able to do that double. Wantarina did the 4 and the 8 in Montreal in 76. Tommy Smith was probably the last of the really great 2-4 men. There's Butch Reynolds. Take my hat off to him tonight. He showed a lot of character. But Michael Johnson was supreme. To do the 2 and the 4, world champion at 200 and world champion at 400. And because the 200 final hasn't been run, he actually owns both the championships at this stage. As you said, John, he ran a tactical race. No one else has ever been able to do that. He's got such high speed at 19.79. He was able to sit on them. And you've got to feel great for him because of the disappointment in Barcelona. He's shown the character and come back as a very, very great champion.
Well, he's very excited. This was one of the big ones. The 100 metres was probably just as good.
Well, I've just been told that Quincy Watts lost his shoe. It fell apart in the run, so we've got to forgive him. Didn't see that, obviously, so we've got to make a little excuse for him, but you can't take anything away from Johnson.
That is great. That is very bad luck if that was the story. I'll be asking the shoe companies the question.
Well, there is Watts. Let's have a look. Have a look at the shoe.
Oh, look at this shoe.
Well, poor Quincy Watts, the Olympic champion, he'll have a tale to tell. Shoe coming apart. Hopefully we'll get a close-up replay. Now here we go to the 200. Watts was in lane 5. Johnson now accelerates. Let's see if Watts is having problems. He doesn't look at all comfortable, does he, in lane 5? But this is where Johnson steamed the bend. And let's see if we can see Watts. Yes, look at the left shoe. You can see it flapping. It lost it there. Well, Quincy had no hope at all. Look at that left shoe of his. You can see the disadvantage he's under. I don't think we can take anything away from Johnson. He was supreme, but the Olympic champion has got a rare excuse. He's still able to come through for a 4th, I think. Johnson 43.66. Reynolds 2nd, and 3rd Kitur. So what a story here in the 400. One man celebrates. Now have a look at Watts' shoe. You've got a great shot of it here. Left shoe for Watts. Look at it flapping as Johnson's away now. I honestly think it would have made no difference at all to the result. But it's a great disadvantage. Now we're about to get the times. 44.13 for Reynolds. So officially it was Johnson 43.65, even quicker. Reynolds 44.13. Kitur 44.54, and then they blew out to Watts, who surely broke the world record for a man with 1.5 shoes at 45.05. Johnson wins the 400 in Stuttgart. And there's the final result. Michael Johnson 43.65, championship record. Reynolds 44.13 as they both hug. Kitur 44.54. Watts on 1.5 shoes 45.05. Another big one, the 800 coming up after this for men.